Hello, everybody, and welcome to my stream. I'm your host, Night and Day Nick, and with me, as always, for our TV talk is my co-host Brandon.
Hey yo, always happy to be doing these weekly TV recaps.
Well, sometimes happier than others, but that's besides
Yeah,
the point. So we have a great stream for you tonight. We have episode 5 of season 3 of Euphoria to talk about. Bitches get giant and lives keep getting messier and messier. We got the penultimate episode of the final season of The Boys. And we no longer have Daredevil Tuesday, but we got the next best thing with, you know what, Brandon? You know what, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about this
Ooh,
past
gotta
episode.
grunt.
Let me ask you
Tell me
something. How you feel about talking Punisher?
Oh, let me tell you something. I'm ready to talk Punisher, man.
Oh wow. Wow, Hunter is getting really sad. Well, Hunter, you want on? All you gotta do is ask, my guy.
All you gotta do is ask.
Yeah, it's like no need to be, a messy bitch in the comments. You can just ask. No, I'm just kidding. We love Hunter here on the stream. I've been on his show, The Real Pineapple, like several times. We've all guested on his at one point. Our usual co-host, Jamarco, he couldn't be here tonight. He has some health issues. Thankfully, he's recovering well, and we hope he gets well soon.
Yes, indeed.
Mhm.
But yeah,
But
Hunter, you gotta watch Euphoria to be able to talk about the Punisher. That's your past. That's what you gotta get through.
that's the gauntlet you got to get through.
Exactly.
But you know what, let's just get right into it. So 305 of Euphoria, we pick up from last week. Maddie has just full on taken Cassie under her wing and turning her into an OnlyFans model. And the clip she got from that influencer party, it led to her getting like a ridiculous number of subscribers overnight. And
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like the show has something to say about the world of, OnlyFans creators and, the nature of sex work. It just feels like it gets lost on Sam Levinson, who just can't help but stroke himself off on the camera.
Yeah, he's saying stuff, but he's not saying anything really worth of value at this point.
Yeah, it's like there is a point to be made here, and he's like on the tiptoe of getting to that. But I think what kind of makes this message of this whole Cassie subplot fall completely flat is he tells it in a way that's just juvenile. Like the episode
Yeah.
opens and it culminates in this like extended sequence of Cassie becoming like the 50-foot woman strolling through Los Angeles that just ends on a she has big tits joke.
Yeah, and as a guy who likes miniatures, I love, those classic Godzilla movies. Like I appreciate the set work here, but yeah, it's just the final bit of it is just it's not fun anymore. And I love when Euphoria gets surreal and weird like this, but yeah, it falls flat.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing about this. It's because this show there is a way in which this show could have worked, but it just gets so lost in this kind of juvenile sense of humor that Levinson has. And feels like someone was keeping Levinson in check and now he's gone full Levinson. Well,
Yeah.
on the first season, he had the work of somebody else. I can't remember what the artist's name was, but they basically just put together the entire Petra Collins. She was the artist whose work inspired the language of Euphoria, and Levinson let her go and basically just stole all of her work allegedly.
And we've heard like the similar thing with The Idol, where like originally I don't remember the woman's name who was working on it with him at the time, but like she left because it was totally just different. They just totally hijacked what she was doing and changed it.
Yeah, that was Amy Simons who who I know her more as an actress. She was in Alien Covenant as one of the red
Mhm.
in that movie. But moving on to some of our other plots this episode. So Cassie has basically just become like one of those OnlyFans influencers who's doing like the whole podcast red pill circuit.
Yeah.
One of
She's
those
going
like
through the circuit of
one of
all
those
the
clips
gross
one of
stuff.
those clips of modern Western woman gets fact checked and owned
Yeah,
that you
exactly.
that somehow keeps popping up on my For You page, even though I've said no,
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 thank
no,
you.
not
Oh
interested.
god. And it's not even like any kind of smart commentary on it. They're just really leaning into, like you said, this kind of social media influencer who's like saying all the things to get the clicks, you know.
Mhm. And there's a way that this could have worked where,
Mhm.
it's very clear that Cassie, her entire identity and her entire sense of self-worth, and this was established in the first season, is
Mhm.
tied to the validation she gets from the men in her life and the
Yeah.
attention she gets from men. But
Mhm.
but again, I feel like the show it kind of gets lost in the sauce of what it's trying to say for this style over substance.
For sure. Is having too much fun showing Sydney Sweeney do all these sexual acts and forgetting like, oh yeah, wait, we're supposed to say something. This is a commentary, right?
Yes, and I'm not a prude. I enjoys, a little bit of lewd content now and
Yeah.
then, but this is just excessive.
Yeah. I saw somebody put it perfectly. Like I'm getting Sydney Sweeney boob fatigue at this point. Like it's not special. It's not fun anymore.
Yeah, but speaking of how this episode is kind of regressing a lot of characters, we have this very awkward scene between Rue and Jules inside
Mhm.
Jules's sugar daddy apartment, where there's this long sequence where I think they're flirting. It
Yeah, I
kind of
don't
reads like
know.
that.
It's weird. Jules is kind of still upset that Rue
Mhm,
left her at the wedding.
mhm.
But like neither of them are really saying what they want. So Jules in that moment is like, yeah, if you want me, say, do it. Like I'm here. And it's like they're in this weird non-relationship relationship
Mhm.
friendship at this point.
Yeah, I think the Gen Z kids call it a situationship now.
There you go. There you go.
because Jules is getting pressed about like okay, why doesn't this girl I like want me,
Yeah.
referring to Rue.
Hmm. And they
But
obviously still have this connection, but it seems like Rue can't get over her sugar daddy ness of it all. And Jules is just kind of tired of Rue being Rue and not saying what she wants.
oh, because Jules' entire like concept of love is very aggressive and very forceful.
Yeah.
I mean, that comes from a lot of her experience is as a young woman, especially
Hmm.
in the first couple seasons. She was on Grinder a lot, and even in this earlier this season with the with all of her other previous sugar daddies, where
Hmm.
this kind of got me. It's like oh my god, it's like there are people in this. You're bringing people back to my apartment. I give you a lot of freedom, and look, I like you, but I love my family from this
Yeah.
creepy plastic surgeon sugar daddy, which is like I don't know why Jules is getting pressed about this because you understand the arrangement and then you get upset when you are treated like that exact arrangement.
Exactly. I didn't expect her to have such an emotional response for him saying that. Like you're using him as much as he's kind of using you at this point. So I thought you knew what kind of transactional relationship this was.
But there could be something said to that being Jules's entire concept of love because
Yeah.
again had that all of her like all of her like intimate experience has been with older men who kind of
Mhm.
took what they wanted from her regardless
Mhm.
of how she felt about it.
Exactly. Yeah. She's always been kind of proud to use her sexuality as an advantage. But I don't know. Like I think like again, we haven't gotten as much of Jules this
Mhm.
season because she's one of the characters who's kind of been shafted. But
Mhm.
from that scene alone, it kind of feels like she's regretting this decision, regretting this position that she's
Mhm.
in.
Yeah, which that's one thing. It'd be interesting if that comes up at all in the last 3 episodes of the season, because
Yeah.
we do finally get some intersecting plot lines, because
Yes.
we'll get into that a little bit later, but we have to bring up Nate, who
Fucking
we've
Nate.
talked like all these last like 4 weeks about the kind of just character regression of Nate Jacobs, who the
Mhm.
man was moving like Patrick Bateman and Dexter had a baby in
Yeah.
the first 2 seasons. And now this man is just chilling in the same location that was already compromised on your wedding night. He's
No,
just
he's not
chilling.
thinking.
Like, you owe this gang $1 million. They have
Mhm.
already taken your pinky toe, and you're
Right.
just chilling in that house,
They know where you live, dude. Like, do
letting
some critical
letting
thinking.
letting your essentially like letting your wife pimp herself out, giving
Yeah.
her suggestions of, hey, maybe make a sexy video with this influencer
Oh
guy.
man. Yeah, he's so far gone. He only cares about the money at this point. He's like, yeah, you're doing great work. I love the videos you're posting. It's just terrible, man.
Who is this guy? Because this is
Yeah,
not the Nate Jacobs I know.
he's fallen. Yeah. Like I said, I think I talked about it in the chat. Like, it could be a commentary on the bully cycle going into the real world and meeting actual um like alpha guys, but I just it's just not done well. Like, I feel like there has to be a breaking point with this character at some point.
Oh, yeah, freaking Hunter from Real Pineapple. It's like, oh, poor Jacob Elordi holding a picture of Del Toro.
Yeah. Hey, it's okay. He's got a movie with Ridley Scott coming out this year. He's fine. He'll do fine.
Yeah, I finally saw the trailer for that the other day, and yeah, it looks good. So yeah,
Right?
the same thug, just while Nate is just chilling in his house, dancing to "Coming Home, Baby." It's
Yeah.
like the thug just strolls up with a golf club and just smashes in his window.
Casually, so casually. Like, you don't have any
Nobody in this
security on this
neighborhood
house
gives
either.
Nobody in this neighborhood gives a single solitary fuck,
Not at all.
and it's amazing. And
Wow.
it's a brutal scene. It's like the thug just rips off the toe that was stitched on, and
Yeah.
cuts off his ring finger.
Hmm.
Which also didn't wasn't Nate a gun-toting psychopath the first 2 seasons?
Yeah, like you would think he would at least have something from his dad or something. I don't know, man.
It's like you got this big ass house. You owe dangerous people money. You don't think
No.
maybe buy a gun?
No, Nate has not done any kind of thinking, any brainstorming. He's living in the moment of I need money now.
Yeah, it's full on character aggression. But
Mm,
speaking of plot lines finally intersecting, we get
yeah,
at least I think the more interesting one, where we
for
have
sure.
this diner scene between Maddie and Rue, which I didn't know that these two characters were as close as they are. There's like a interesting conversation between them about
Hmm.
faith and karma and all that. When who walks into the diner but good old Alamo Brown,
Fucking
our
Alamo.
drug dealer pimp extraordinaire.
Yeah, at this point, Alamo is getting way more like on top of Ruse, being a little bit of a snitch.
I
Um,
mean, you know, very obviously a snitch.
yeah, but at this point, like, what's the stripper name played by Rosalia? She like goes to Alamo and is like, "Yeah, Rue planted drugs on me. That girl ain't right." And so that's like kind of Alamo's what gets him to go to that diner to kind of see what's going on with her. And he meets Maddie, and they
Yeah,
get a conversation going.
they get to talking business.
Yep, two business people just yucking it up
And in isolation, I think the scene works because
for
it's
sure.
two great actors, two people. This character Alamo, who
Mhm.
is in the business of peddling flesh, and he sees Maddie, who is objectively one of the girls he would consider for like that kind of
Mhm.
business, but nah, he hears her out. He admires her business acumen, her mind for that.
Yeah,
It was
like
like she talks
Maddie
about
shows her.
how she's like managing Cassie's OnlyFans. It was like in a
Mhm,
couple months she'll be pulling in 1 million a month.
and that really gets his ear. He's
That's
like,
like
bullshit.
interesting.
And so yeah, they actually get a deal going on, and like these are two characters at the beginning of the season I would not think have interacted at all, but it seems like we'll be getting more of them together in the episodes coming soon.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm interested in.
Mhm.
Just for for a show with this kind of ensemble cast, you'd figure there'd be more interacting between the cast, but it
Yeah.
feels like this season was very much like kind of a Scream 3 situation where they could only
Mhm.
get the main star for like 2 weeks out of the entire filming schedule.
Yeah, particularly Zendaya and Jacob Elordi are not seen with a lot of the rest of the cast. They're very much in their own isolated story bubble. So like
Yeah,
characters like Maddie and Cassie are like the ones that we see more of.
yeah, every character feels like they're kind of in a different show.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like Nate is in like The Sopranos,
Yeah.
or Rue is in Breaking Bad.
Mhm.
Jules is in The Girlfriend Experience.
Yeah, yeah, very, very accurate when you put it like that.
But the way this episode ends, so Marshawn Lynch and Bishop, they take Rue
Mhm.
out to the desert and tell her to start digging.
Yeah, and
And
that's never a good sign when someone
it's
tells you to start
especially when
digging.
you're a snitch and you're around shady people. It's like
And they don't tell
keep
you
digging.
why.
Just and the episode ends with Zendaya buried up to her neck
hmm And Alamo on a horse,
on a
coming
horse
right
waving a
towards her.
polo stick, and that's where the episode ends. So
Yeah,
theories. Do they kill Rue this episode? Because even in
no,
the preview for the next one, Zendaya is nowhere to be seen.
yeah. I think they're going for the shock factor and
Mhm.
big cliffhanger, of course. I think main character like Rue, you don't kill her off unceremoniously off screen like that in like cliffhanger-ish. And if they did that, they'd have some balls. But I doubt that. I think we'll see Rue more in a precarious situation, especially with Alamo and what's her name, the other drug dealing lady,
Oh,
possibly coming to meet each other.
yeah, Lori, who's
Yeah,
the
Lori,
monotone drug dealer.
exactly, the monotone drug dealer. So yeah, I don't think Rue's dead. She'll be fine. Um, and yeah, well, I will see probably more Alamo and Maddie, their business relationship. But
Mhm.
yeah, I really have no idea where Rue's story is going. But all I got is she's probably gonna die by the end of this season.
Yeah, I don't see any scenario where this season doesn't end with Rue dying.
Yeah.
Especially because, Zendaya, she is an executive producer on this show. She kind of has a little bit more power to,
Mhm.
say no to a lot of the humiliating shit that Sam Levinson asks characters to do on this.
For sure.
Like even the like poop joke in the premiere episode, that was originally supposed to be Rue.
Oh
But
wow.
she said no, so he gave it to Chloe Cherry.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Hell no. Don't do that.
Yeah, gross in more ways than one. But
Mhm.
yeah, this has been the show that I think I said it back when we were talking about the wedding episode. It's like this is I'd say the worst show that I'm currently watching that I
Mhm.
cannot look away from week to week because
Exactly.
it
It's a train wreck.
it has all of the trappings of like a legitimately great prestige TV drama, but it
Mhm.
has such this juvenile sense of I need to shock you that it
Yeah.
gets in the way of the storytelling that is at hand. Like, I think I'd said it in our group chat. It was like, remember when this show was about addiction and
Mhm.
the harm it causes to not just you but everyone around you, and
Yeah.
how there's questions of sexual and gender identity, how that affects your psyche, especially growing
Mhm.
up. Remember
Yeah.
when this show was about something?
I do, and now it's just, hey, let's play the Tarantino and Coen brothers' greatest hits right now as we can.
Written by a motherfucker with not even a third the talent of any
No,
of those
not at
guys.
all.
But I will give Sam Levinson this. He knows how to frame a shot and make it look pretty.
Oh yeah. If there's anything about this show, it is beautiful. It is a very pretty show. Cinematography, lighting, all that just makes this a very nice show to look at.
Yeah, it's like next episode we see some of, in the preview we see Maddie and Alamo button heads. It's like, hey, maybe give these girls some time off, and it's like, bitch, the fuck you say?
It's time off. I don't know what that is.
I'm Bezos in this motherfucker.
Honestly, yeah, they are working through the holidays. No time off.
Oh, you want a bathroom break?
No. Who said that?
But yeah, we see more of that, more of Nate getting his ass whooped, a little bit of interaction with Sharon Stone and Cassie.
Yes.
Which I'm curious to see how they play that. It's kind of like these two ideas of fame, especially now, kind of clashing together.
Yeah, especially since in the beginning, Maddie had this, her first person she was working with, Sharon Stone was like, yeah, stop working with her. We don't do that. But now we see Cassie.
Or I don't think it was Sharon Stone. I think it was like a different character.
Yeah, one of the Hollywood peoples. We see Cassie in that position, like, she's doing sex work, but she's also got a job on this show. She nailed an audition, apparently.
So yeah, which Jesus, why is it only when Sydney Sweeney works with Sam Levinson that she decides to lock in as an actress? Because this is like the first time in forever where I can honestly say, yeah, Sydney Sweeney might have some sauce as an actress.
Yeah. Like this show was like, the first time we saw her, and like she's been great. But like everything else, like you said before, like has been her just kind of half-assing it or leaning into the cliche or stereotype of herself, like with the Handmaid's Tale or not Handmaid's Tale, Handmaiden, Anyone But You, and all that kind of stuff, where like she's just kind of playing the stereotypical cliche version of herself.
Yeah, but yeah, that's Euphoria 305. Will they kill Rue? Will they not? I hope not, because that's at least one of the storylines that has some intrigue to it, even though it has nothing to do with what this show originally started out before on. But it makes for some good television. Anytime you get Adewale Akinyo-Agbaje on screen, you're gonna get something.
He's chewing it up. He's chewing it up.
Yep, but that was 305 of Euphoria. This titled "This Little Piggy," which is hilarious considering what happens to Nate's foot.
Yes,
and his hand, and probably like the rest of him.
Yeah, he will have no limbs.
He's gonna have no limbs by the end of this season. Yeah, Hunter is just going off in the comments. It's like Scarlett Johansson if she didn't have ambition.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, you're. It's kind of amazing how not wrong you are. But moving on to one of the good shows that's still on television. At least I think so. We have 307 of The Boys, the penultimate episode of the entire run of the series. We got Homelander. He's fully taking over his reign as like the one true god. The episode even opens up with an excellent musical number performed by Daveed Diggs's "Oh Father," which as soon as they announced that he was joining the cast, I knew it's like, okay, we got to have Daveed Diggs do a song and dance number.
You don't cast that dude and not have him sing, man.
But yeah, the episode, it goes from that to opening up on this shot of Homelander that we see in all of the trailers of him just chilling in the Oval Office in the White House. Oh, wait. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
And just, fully just cementing that Homelander is really the one in charge of our government. Even having a meeting with Calhoun, who is the current president, and Ashley, who's the VP, just listing off some of his insane demands, which, I kind of really wish the show, even though it was written before the election, I kind of wish it came out beforehand, because
Yeah,
right now it's just kind of like watching life imitate art.
Every
it is.
boundary between church and state
Real life beat them
dissolved.
to the punch.
I want troops. Church and state dissolved. Me, great idea. I want every boundary between church and state dissolved. I want troops. Send into every sanctuary city that took in Starlighters. Issue an executive order banning abortion. Also, breastfeeding is now mandatory. Maybe take out others, not fake milk. Actually, outlaw that too.
Sure.
Ban nut milk. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was making you think nuts were milk.
Probably one of my favorite lines from Homelander.
It's like I have sung the praises of Anthony Starr as Homelander since the first season of The Boys, but the absolute insane dialogue that he can deliver with the straightest of faces, that you, sir, are wonderful.
He's too good at it. And like, yeah, if there's anything, like I know there's been complaints about this show, but Anthony Starr has been a consistently amazing actor throughout it all. Like it's always a treat whenever like he's on screen, you know it's gonna be something great and something insane.
Yeah, but it's like going more into this like insane power trip that he is on, especially now that he has taken the V1. So in his mind, he is now immortal, and just full on gloves off. Let's just take over this bitch.
Yeah, immediately just kills the president. He's he's like, oh well, I can tell you're not a real believer in me. Actually, read his mind.
And it's like he thinks you're fucking insane. Like,
yeah,
interesting.
You.
As soon as he like starts leaning in, it's like,
yeah.
As soon as Homelander starts leaning in towards you, I'm just imagine everybody internally is just saying to themselves,
"Can you give me a sec?"
Alan, we are so fucked.
It's just amazing. Like, it applies to so many things.
It is, especially with this show, and it's accurate as hell. Like the look on the president's face is like, yeah, I'm done.
But we check back with Annie and MM, and we finally get an appearance from Jordan and Marie from Gen V, which we saw them in the trailer. We were wondering what their role was going to be in this season, especially because season 2 was setting up Marie to be another survivor of the Odessa Project, which created Homelander. So in theory, she should be as powerful as him, but that kind of goes nowhere. Which that I think that's a little bit of a victim of Gen V's cancellation.
Yeah, I think just as well. Like as much as I love Gen V, and like I think you're gonna have this problem with any spin-off show in the main show going into a series finale. You can only bring so much from that spin-off show because not everybody watches it. But at the same time, like, yeah, it did feel a little bit underwhelming to have Marie come in and Starlight basically be like, yeah, you can't control your powers. Get out of here. You did enough.
But that is also feeding into what Annie's character arc is in this episode, where everybody is kind of like just losing hope in the face of these insurmountable odds. Even Butcher, Frenchie, and Kimiko, they have, a plan B, and their plan is to just give Kimiko and just nuke her to the point where she gets Soldier Boy's chest ray.
Yeah, basically speed run what the Russians did to Soldier Boy
over decades.
Exactly, yeah. And like you said, like even Huey is like, we lost. Like, you guys, this isn't like we're on our back foot. This is like the very end. Then you can really feel that lack of hope with like everybody in this in the main boys cast.
Yeah, and that leads into the A plot of the episode where they're trying to track down Father at Vought Studios. Butcher and Huey, they split up and do their search. They get captured immediately.
Yeah,
because we get some payoff of the headshots of all of the psychic soups from the last episode, and we also get some, I think, great interaction between Annie and Mother's Milk, which I don't think they've had many scenes together since season 2.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like they're a really good pair, and I like when they're put together, especially like you said with Annie's arc, very much losing hope and like just kind of like almost giving in, and Mother's Milk really going the butcher route and just being like, yeah, we got to do what anything we can, like fuck humanity and morals, we just gotta like finish this.
But also in a way going back to what the character of Mother's Milk stood for. He was always, especially in the early seasons, he always felt like he was the moral center of the boys if it wasn't Huey. But he tells his backstory of how he got the name Mother's Milk. It is like he took in a wounded pigeon and nursed it back to health, and all the kids in the neighborhood started making fun of him. But
I think nailed, like Laz Alonso nails that monologue as well.
Yeah, but it's like a beautiful thing, and something that for as kind of juvenile and nihilistic as the boys can be at times, there are gems and little nuggets of this is like great, very hopeful superhero TV, because it ends with it's like not giving a shit in a world that also doesn't give a shit isn't strength. Caring is. Caring when the world is telling you not to.
Most definitely. And I think like in the beginning with the Marie bit, like she says, like, since when is being like hopeful like mean like being naive? And I think like Annie comes around to that in the end. Like they're hopeful. They save a bunch of people that they probably would not have saved originally, but like they are still heroes. They're still the good guys.
Yeah, it's like if the roles were reversed, because we follow this focus group for the eventual ads of Homelander taking the reins from White Jesus.
Yeah.
And
I love all the
Homelander
effects and everything.
And Homelander has like the 2 psychic suits reading everyone's mind. Is like, okay, who's for real? And I think only 6 out of 30 people.
Yeah. And Homelander's like, all right, kill the rest of them.
It's like, wait, and you get some hesitation from Father. It's like, but hey, my whole job is proselytizing. It's like, give me some time. And I said, nope, fuck it.
Exactly. Homelander is, once he got the V, he's just like, nope, I want things done now, ASAP. We're changing it all right now.
And it's kind of this this theme in fascism. It's like I don't remember the writer who stated this, but in the end, fascists will always turn on each other. And we see that more and more, especially as the show comes to its conclusion.
Yeah.
And speaking of fascists eating each other, the Deep, who has been like the ride or die and the most pathetic character of on the show, he loses his job. He loses his spot on the 7 because even Homelander says, look, we haven't been 7 since like season 1.
Yeah, exactly. I love that he references the running bit of never having full team of 7 people.
And the Deep, he's sad and miserable, and we get a I think a very great tongue-in-cheek little cameo.
Hey man, you wouldn't believe it, bro.
Yeah, get in the water, man.
No, you're not listening to me.
Ah, shut the fuck up. We know you were responsible for the pipeline genocide. Remember March 15th, motherfucker.
And we get Samuel Jackson as a shark, which is a great, I think, in-joke, because as one of Samuel Jackson's most iconic roles was Deep Blue Sea.
He gets to be the shark now.
And, it's like, it took me a second to finally catch it. And, the Deep gets banned from all water.
Yeah. And I just love like the running thing of like, because didn't they have Helen Mirren voicing a sea animal as well?
No,
just like getting these...
no, that was no, it wasn't Helen Mirren. It was Tilda Swinton.
There you go.
Last season.
Getting these actors to voice these fish is just fantastic. But yeah, the Deep loses everything. He loses his main thing, and he doesn't even go into the ocean to save somebody.
Yeah, and it's caught on camera, which I think
just scurrying away.
Which is I think I think killing the Deep is too easy of an ending for him. This is
Exactly.
much more satisfying.
Yeah. Just bring him all the way down. Bring him to the lowest of lows.
Mhm. But speaking of the lowest of lows, I kind of feel like we have to talk about what I think are kind of the downsides of the episode because
Mhm.
for as much as I've been loving the show, especially with the last, I think, 4 episodes since 303, where they went
Mhm.
to Fort Harmony, I don't feel like this has been a final season. This feels like
Yeah.
just another season of the show. It doesn't feel like we're really wrapping up the story. And where this episode ends, it doesn't feel like it doesn't really they'll have to pull off a miracle in the finale to make this come together.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, I'm loving the show. Always like
Mhm,
very much enjoyed these actors and these characters. But yeah, it doesn't feel like a finale finale season. Um, and the way this episode ends, and just like I would think they would have to do a whole bunch to really wrap up every
mhm,
loose thread, but it's impossible to at this point. And like it's always talked about with these series finale shows, like how do you, especially with a big ensemble cast, like how do you give everybody a conclusion?
mhm.
And I
And
don't know.
we're kind of we're I feel like because this episode's titled The Frenchman, the Female, and the Man Called Mother's Milk. I feel like
Mhm.
we've kind of like almost wrapped up some of their story arcs, especially
Yeah.
with Frenchie, because the way this episode ends, he is the character that dies in this very brave and very humbling sequence with Homelander, where
Mhm.
you get some terrifying shit.
Ugh.
Hello, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's some fucking horror movie shit right there.
Yeah, and the show has always done a great job of especially with Anthony Starr's performance of making Homelander terrifying. But that's a slasher movie shit. That is
Most definitely.
I jumped in my seat when I was watching
Mhm.
this. But Frenchie, he lures Homelander into the uranium chamber and just mugs him.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to frame it. And he like tells him, it's like, look at you, I bet you've never danced in your life. And
Yeah.
he's a character that you know he's right. Homelander has never experienced, I think, a genuine moment of love and happiness, which makes it
Mhm.
tragic because that's the one thing that his character wants.
Exactly. And like especially in this episode with Frenchie and Sage, like their whole kind of back and forth about
Mhm.
love. And Sage being like, yeah, no, love is dumb. Love made me miss the things that I should have seen because I'm super smart. But Frenchie, like, combats that and like says, no, love is important. Love
Mhm.
is like, kind of indescribable, but like it's needed to like keep moving forward. And it's the reason he saves them. It's the reason Sage comes to his side and helps him out with Kimiko.
Yeah, in which they get one last radiation treatment. As far as we know, it should work, but we won't really know until the finale.
Mhm.
And that is this this show. It doesn't move me often. It doesn't
Yeah.
like get me emotionally in the feels. This episode did, especially
Mhm.
with the final shot of 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 Kimiko just cradling Frenchie's body as he passes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Very well done shot.
yeah, and I will never stop singing the praises of Karen Fukuhara. And
Yes,
as much as I feel like she's kind of been underserved this final season, I like that she's getting these moments to shine.
for sure. Yeah, I think she's all like even when she was nonverbal, like throughout the whole
Mhm.
show, I think she's always been like an undeniable like light in the show, a very like one of my favorite characters. But yeah, having that last moment with her and Frenchie was heartbreaking.
Yeah, and yeah, as far as my final thoughts on this episode before we move on to Punisher, because
Mhm.
Hunter just entered the studio, but
Hey.
I feel like I've been enjoying the show. I'm more or less satisfied with where a lot of the character arcs are
Mhm.
going. I do wish this show had a bit more sense of this is the final season, but it feels like we spent at least half of it setting up Bot Rising.
Yeah, and that's just kind of disappointing. Like, to spend your finale season setting up another show, especially when you have so a big cast, like you said, like with so many storylines going on. I despise the 8-episode like format. Like, I wish this final season had at least 2 or 3 more extra episodes to really dive into these characters and stories. But
yeah, as far as I know, the series finale, it's just a normal length episode. As far as I know, I think I heard a rumor that it was going to be a longer episode, but I can't. But don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I would hope so, because like these episodes been like a little under an hour, about an hour.
Yeah, an hour give or take.
So
but,
yeah, I mean, I would hope for a longer finale.
Yeah, but even as I'm saying that, I'm kind of, not as in love with this final season, it has given me some of my favorite episodes of the show. This one included.
Yeah, I agree, and plus just more memes of Homelander. We love the Homelander memes.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was tricking you that nuts were milk.
So good. I love it.
Which I know RFK is seething at that.
Oh man.
But yep, that was the boys' penultimate episode. We'll be back next week talking about the series finale, probably next Wednesday. But chat, please join me in welcoming a very special guest. You know him as Hunter from The Real Pineapple. Ladies and gentlemen, Hunter!
Hello. Am I on? Hello, everyone. Hello, internet. How's it going, y'all? You caught me at perfect time. I just finished watching AEW, so I was like, I'll hop on real quick.
Yes,
good to see you here. Man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like, if you wanted to come on and talk the Punisher, you could have just asked.
Well, dude, I never, that's the thing. I never want to invite myself somewhere. I think that's always been a thing. So yeah, but
I get that and I respect it. But you're much more of a funny book person than I am. So I feel like this is, kind of warranted. But we have, instead of Daredevil Tuesdays, which RIP to
I missed
3 of the 4 season of Peak shows.
Yeah.
Real quick, peak for Daredevil season 2. That finale. I know I've mentioned it.
Yeah, it's like when they mentioned in interviews that there's a moment in the finale that tops the "I beat you" monologue. I didn't fucking believe him. Shit, he might be right.
Dude, it was so I'll just say real quick in the chat. So I finished this. I was lucky enough to get a screener, which has been I know. Yeah, Nick was the first person to tell me to eat a bag of dicks, but it has been so difficult not saying shit because I wanted y'all to like experience this shit, and it was just like, okay, I was like, okay, no, they're at this part, so I just need to be quiet. That storming of a government building.
Yeah, we said it last week. It's woke January 6th.
Oh man, as I was watching it, just seeing Fisk break people's backs.
Oh, we get a visual of what the 100 Men versus a gorilla looks like.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and
it's like the Scientology speedrunners when they finally get to the top level.
That's actually a very apt comparison.
Very good. Very timely.
I will say too, just shout out to Kristen Ritter, who was phenomenal in the bits that we got her in. She was used just enough, which I was like very appreciative of. I was like, okay, good. Yeah, that cameo at the end, I screamed. I was just like, and they've already confirmed that character is very prominent in season 3, which is currently filming. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm genuinely curious where where we're heading. My Dark Defender, my Dark Avengers theory still holds some water as far as where Bullseye ends up. I just like to throw that out there because
he's one of the good guys now.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Because I was
talking about? He's working for the government.
Come on,
Yeah, right.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah. Come on, like, when has the government ever lied to you? But
Never.
but yeah, just Daredevil season 2. If you have not watched it, please watch it. It's my favorite season outside of season 3, which is still my peak. So
yeah, that is peak Marvel TV. But speaking of a peak Marvel character, I feel like one of the notable missing characters from season 2 of Born Again, he had such a prominent role in the first season, was Frank Castle. And there was an announcement that we were getting a special presentation of what was Frank Castle doing up to during season 2. So we get a little bit of an answer. We get he was doing the same kind of character arc that started both seasons of The Punisher. He kills every person that has ties to the death of his family and is now sad about it, that he feels like he has no purpose. And I say that very flippantly, but I really love this opening of this pilot, because I feel like Frank Castle is a character that is very difficult to write for. He's deceptively hard to write for.
Yeah.
Because if you really leaned into the fractured mental state of Frank Castle from the comics, like you read some of the Garth Ennis Punisher Max run or Welcome Back Frank, you would basically have just Dexter.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. So I will say season 2 definitely goes more into that. Now, getting my big season 2 gripe out of the way, the way that Jigsaw looks, come on, people.
You mean I'll pull up an image for reference, but I joke about it all the time. It's like, it's like Jigsaw's supposed to be this like horrifyingly disfigured person, but the makeup that they gave Ben Barnes. And Ben Barnes is already one of the most beautiful men on the planet.
He's a very handsome man. Yeah.
Honestly, the scars just made him hotter.
Yeah, they said he's too pretty. You can't mess up his face.
It made him accessible. It made me think I had a shot.
Yeah, maybe that's why we haven't seen Bradley like the ugliest Bradley Cooper will get is voicing a CGI raccoon. Like maybe it's just like I'm so handsome.
It's like this is what the character looked like in Punisher Warzone.
Yeah.
Now, what I will give season 2 a lot of credit for, and I mean a ton of credit, the whole fact that a religious organization is trying to kill the Punisher and this girl that he's trying to protect, who could bring down some people who essayed her. The fact that's the plot of the season 2 Marvel Netflix show, and it has government ties, you're just like, ha 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 ha. Like it's and that was back in like 2012, 2013. So it's very interesting.
That was, I think, 2019 when season 2
was it that long ago? What is time anymore? What is time anymore? Yeah, that was January 18th, 2019. Bravo. But it's really interesting how that in particular goes ahead and develops, because it is Frank realizing that there is this big like web conspiracy. And some of the best stuff from Frank's catalog in terms of the comics is when Micro sometimes is a rival, because there's that tech aspect that you can play off of, which is quite fun. I think the thing that I was the most pleasantly surprised by is how straightforward this is, and I do mean that as a compliment, because it's a very Punisher story. Because like for the first 20 or so minutes, you're kind of like, okay, Frank is tortured. I mean, he often is. It's
speaking to his mental state, is he's seeing figures from his past, like talk to him. Like we get the return of Curtis Hoyle from front of the show.
Yeah.
like his boy who talks to him. We see some of his fellow Marines, and we get visions of his family, which I think that's like some of the most emotionally affecting stuff in this one shot.
Well, it's so interesting because John Bernthal, I mean, even back from Walking Dead days, like there would just be times where he'd be acting alongside like a vision, or he'd be seeing something. You're kind of like, damn, he's really good at doing that. And there are multiple points in here where you're just like, God damn, like there, like I said it in the chat, I was like, why does John Bernthal have more chemistry with a grave than Henry Cavill had with Amy Adams and Batman for and I said that like kind of tongue in cheek, but I went back and watched that scene, and no, he has more chemistry with that grave than Cavill. Like it's kind of amazing actually, because like one of the running bits has been the whole one batch, two batch, that being the story he read to his kids, and they kind of put a loop on that in terms of like tying that up, and the rest of it, you're like, oh wow, that's fucked. Like it's one of those things where you're like, God damn, okay, like this is how this okay. But a lot of this, it's very John Wick coded. It's very raid coded. Like holy shit, you want to talk about
it's like that was what was going through my mind this entire special, because this special is directed by Reynaldo Marcus Green, whose previous credits include King Richard and the Bob Marley biopic. Not great stuff.
Better. Yeah.
Oh wait, he also directed like all of We Own This City. Who?
Yep.
John Bernthal also
another Bernthal project.
That's
so
crazy.
that's where they got hooked up. But
I'm definitely not an easy watch. We own the city.
No, definitely not. It's a show to make you mad for sure.
Yeah, that's like, oh man, if you're a minority, it's like, do you want to hate cops more? Well, boy, howdy, do I have the show for you? Because, that show.
But yeah, getting back to this, it's like I'm kind of surprised how just straightforward this is. There isn't a lot of time spent on character stuff, even though I feel like this is it's kind of hard to say this is the most concise that Frank's arc as a character has been presented on screen, because even on the Netflix Punisher era, it's like you got 13 episodes in both seasons to fill out, so you have to include more shit in that. And even season 2 of Daredevil, I felt like that was the best interpretation, but we get a little character building. We get some humanizing of Frank, particularly with this one donut shop family that he frequents. We get a little peek that the Nucci crime family, which they're a crime family that was very prominent in the Welcome Back Frank comic. And some great actors appearance, like we get Andre Royo, who plays the donut shop owner.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah, I think the biggest or one of the biggest takeaways from this is that first off, I found it adorable that people are like, oh my god, like, are they gonna kill Frank? And I was just like, y'all, like, no, they're not. Like you think this motherfucker is just coming back to the role, and it's like, all right, cool, let's kill him off. It's like, no, fuck no, they're not. There's no goddamn way.
It's like, let me tell you something.
Yeah,
let me tell you something.
I will say, I mean, not really spoiler, but the fact that they end on the reimagining of the classic Punisher logo. I love that shit. I was just like, oh yeah, I was like, that's with like the blue, like the Dolph Lundgren style. Like, okay, yep, love that. Secondly, if you are squeamish, this is not the special for you, because like
it gets bloody.
If you watch the trailer for Evil Dead Burn and you felt like even remotely squeamish, just pass the controller.
Like,
the same for you.
There's a way he kills this one guy inside of a kitchen involving a knife that I actually was like, I was mid pipe hit. I was like, God damn! Like I actually had to stop my hit. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah,
like
that whole sequence is set to a song by Hatebreed. I think it's I Will Be Heard, and
Yeah.
it's going to who Frank Castle is as a character because he it goes back to what I was saying earlier about he's a character that's deceptively hard to write for because you think he's just this one track mind of a vengeful killer, but Frank has in his mind some form of humanity. He sees this shop owner that has the little kid, so he forgoes going to kill Ma Nucci, who in this is played by Judith Light, and just says, all right, I'm gonna go help this family, I'll catch you later.
Yeah. And like what you said, like with this being written, like it really feels like it's written by the Punisher, the special.
And John Bernthal co-wrote this with Reynaldo Marcus Green.
Yeah, so Johnny B, he's big. Like you can tell, he's so tapped into this character, like since his appearance in Daredevil season 2. And I think this special definitely serves as like if you've been living under a rock and didn't watch Born Again, didn't watch, or just like only saw like Punisher season 1 or 2, this serves as like a solid reintroduction of the character and like what he is.
That's why I'm not as critical about this, because this is essentially just redoing Frank's origin again for the third time. But that's only a very small part of this. The rest is just Frank Castle murdering the shit out of people. And that's really all you need for a good at least a watchable Punisher thing.
Honestly, yeah. And the action and choreography is done super well.
Yeah, I think the big thing, I think Nick is right on the front. Like I would tell people just to kind of be informed, because I do think that both seasons of Punisher are actually very good TV. Do you need to watch them? No, you really don't. But I love this in terms of reintroduction because it is very baseline Punisher. Punisher really loves killing crime families. It's kind of one of his it's kind of one of his favorite things. And the fact that Nucci gets away, I am hoping that's a thread that we will come back to. I have some ways to tie that in, but I'll save that for for a future podcast. But one of the things that made me like laugh, and I got really sad, but I laughed, is that this one guy to start off the special does such a dick thing. I was like,
that's one of the most evil things in MCU.
Also, like,
it's like,
what the
this
fuck?
is where we're getting the John Wick comparisons, because this poor like homeless veteran with just this adorable dog, and it is pure evil. And I feel like that's what makes the Punisher as a character worse. Is it's like Punisher, I feel like his best appearances are when he is in an antagonist role to other characters, like his early introduction in the Spider-Man comics, some of his appearances in the animated series, and of course, season 2 of Daredevil. But lacking that, just put him surrounded by characters who are worse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just pieces of shit. And this guy too, he's so gleeful about what he does. I was like, dude, what the fuck?
There is not a grave deep enough for that guy.
Oh no, there's not. And I will say where the special ends up, I was just like, oh yeah, that's the stuff. I was like, yep, that's what I wanted. I'm happy you opened with this to end with this. One thing too, I will say is, God bless all these morons who think they have a chance to kill Frank, because these guys they're like fucking lemmings. They're just like, no,
they are a gang of red shirts that is just there to be murdered.
Yeah, and man, the way in which Frank fucks these dudes up, like there was a baseball bat shot to the kneecap that made me, I was like, oh, that's like, it is such a brutal, and I don't know who did it, but shout out to the sound editor, because
Mhm.
goddamn, anytime someone got hit or shot or stabbed, like you heard like a gush or like you're just like, oh, like okay, like you feel every hit in
Yeah,
in
Yeah,
the special.
yeah, I'm on the Wikipedia. I don't see anybody for sound, but shout out to Melissa Lawson Chung, who edited the special and also worked on both seasons of Born Again.
Oh, well, there you go.
Mhm. That makes sense.
It definitely has a very consistent tone in how it's shot. Like you feel like this is definitely in that same, in that same world. One thing I also really did enjoy about this is that there's definitely some side scroller energy to this. There's a point where Frank goes out of a window and perspective literally changes, so it basically turns into like Super Mario World for a bit as you're seeing Frank like take these guys down. But the changes in perspective are actually one of the things that really benefit this special. Deborah Ann Wool makes a cameo as Karen. Just I don't have enough words for my level of respect for that woman. She's incredible.
She gets better and better.
It's
she
like,
really does. Like,
can you believe that they were literally about to make Born Again without her?
Yeah,
which is
that's
so
insane to me.
Yeah, there's for just in case those who haven't seen, there is a interrogation scene in the back half of season 2 that I was just like, this bitch is crazy, and I mean that as a compliment. I was like, god damn, she just like I was like,
this is so tense but so hot.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So I was in that exact same. Like
more scenes with them.
Alea looked at me.
You know the writers' room of Born Again is freaky as hell.
Oh yeah, no. Alea straight up looked at me. She was like, "Wow, you have issues." I'm like, "You knew he was cheating." Yeah, exactly. I've not tried to hide this, but I really love the chemistry that her and Frank have. I do hope we get more of that in. Not to get too much into it, but it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with season 3 of Born Again, because there's a lot of potential pieces that they'll have access to. But at the end of the day, really what this lands on is that Frank, the title is just, there's always going to be another crime family. There's always going to be another potential villain. So the Punisher, this ends with him being committed back to his mission, and seeing the logo, because they were a bit stingy on that in Netflix. Like now we're actually seeing the logo, and it's like, okay.
It's like, as much as I love like both seasons of the Netflix Punisher, you definitely feel the kind of 2000s-ness of, we're kind of embarrassed that this is attached to a comic book.
Yeah.
And
that was a lot of Netflix Marvel stuff.
Unfortunately, but it feels like we're at this point now where it's like we need to embrace like the silliness.
It's a good balance.
I mean, it's like this character is about to appear in Spider-Man: Brand New Day, so we can afford to like embrace the comic absurdity.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, because it is very much that, like, oh my god, we can't find the Punisher. Where's the Punisher? I'm like, the guy in the skull, like running around New York, like
in full tactical gear with the white skull painted on his chest.
Yeah. You don't know where that guy is.
It's always kind of it's very much in the similar thing where it's like, oh my god, we can't find Ghost Rider. It's like, you can't.
Really?
like I'm
you blind.
Yeah, like unless they're using Firestone tires, there aren't a whole lot of motorcycles that are going to be on fire in New York. But yeah, like, I mean, just getting to final thoughts. This just kicked ass. This was like like, and the thing is, it moves very quick. Like that was something like pacing wise. I was like, oh damn, like it finished up. I was like, oh damn, it's over. Shit, like I could have used another 10, 15.
Yeah, a few more bodies.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. That is one thing I will say. There's not a lack of bodies. Like they're like just off that rooftop plate alone.
Yeah, the first action set piece of Frank, it's one you see in the trailer of like
Yeah, in the
they
house.
light him on fire and it's set to like a cover of Lovey and Rose. It's like
Mhm.
it is glorious.
Agreed.
Yeah, I will say too, and I mean this respectfully, whenever John Bernthal yells, it is like one of the most like tragic,
So
terrifying things. Like it, like you
Like a
can like
vocal stim.
like I can't really think of another way to phrase it, but you can almost hear the PTSD in like every scream. Like it's like
Yeah.
it's so like just gravelly, and it's from such a place. Like it reminds me of oh god, season 5, that premiere of Dexter, where after that person gets killed and Dexter has his first kill, and he just has this like scream that's so like animalistic that you're just kind of like, holy shit, like it's that level of uncomfortable. And
Yeah, and you're right on the money. And the real story behind that scream is just Barenthal caught a PA napping.
yeah, right, exactly. I hate naps. Like
It's like
but-
whole world's moving. Let me tell you something. Whole world's moving while you're napping, brother.
right. It's so intense. But yeah, as far as a grade, yeah, this is a strong tune in.
Mhm.
Like I said, the pacing was like the biggest surprise for me, because I was like, how long is it going to be? Is this like an hour? Is this like it's like 51 minutes? It's like
it's
just under an hour.
51 minutes with credits.
Yeah,
Oh,
around the
okay.
same
So,
week as the other Marvel special presentations, Werewolf by Night and Guardians Holiday.
Now I won't lie, I thought Werewolf by Night was longer. I thought that was over an hour. I could be wrong, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna get more Punisher in like 5 weeks.
You're right.
Yeah. Whenever Spider-Man is out, so it's like you're fine. But yeah, this is a solid tune in. Really enjoyed it.
Yep, Brandon, what did you think about One Last Kill?
Yeah, no, like I said, this serves as like a solid reintroduction to Punisher, really putting him in a proper Punisher place, like not just killing people for the vengeance of his family now, but like killing people to help other people now. Like he has more of a motive.
You mean like he was doing in season 2?
Yeah,
but yeah, no, more so.
And he likes it. Like
he likes it. He's accepted his role now as just not killing for himself.
Especially when you get a look at this neighborhood that Frank is like living in now. It's like
the beginning of Bo is Afraid.
That's exactly it. It's like this neighborhood, it's like the Purge, which I feel like that's an interesting thing. It's like he just finished taking out the Nucci crime family, and they mentioned that there's a power vacuum in this neighborhood now.
Mm-hmm. All hell breaks loose.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is a very interesting, like they make a very prominent point to make that statement. You're like, huh, okay, like that's
But no, I very much enjoyed this special. Same with Hunter, very much a strong tune in. I think this is like Marvel really testing the waters with Punisher. Like, let's see how he does outside of Daredevil again, and then let's see how he does interacting with other MCU characters with Spider-Man coming up. So I'm excited to see where Punisher goes from here, especially with how the special leaves off. Like you said, Nucci does leave, so we got to see her again. But yeah, strong tune in. Always love hearing John Bernthal yelling and getting new no memes.
Yeah, but I'm kind of right there with the both of you. It's like I liked Bernthal's solo run as the Punisher, especially on the Netflix shows. I really loved season 1 of that show. Season 2, I rewatched it recently, and I liked it a lot more than I did the first go around. But you really felt the kind of like stretching out pacing of trying to justify 13 episodes. But with this, it's it's fast. It gets in. It like tells the story that it wants to tell with Frank in this like crisis of identity, and him coming around to kind of realizing who he is at his core. He's a guy who he is a bad guy who fucks up worse guys. And I feel like that is Punisher when he is written at his best.
For sure.
And he bucks them up so satisfyingly. This is some of the
Boy,
best
howdy,
action
does
in
he ever?
this is some of the best action in the MCU. Period. It's like really refreshing to get something with this kind of grittiness, this kind of rawness, and
Yeah.
we compared this a lot to stuff like Old Boy in terms of its action, in terms of stuff like The Raid, and you get the elevator pitch of just throw Frank Castle in The Raid. It's like, shit, I'm already seated.
I'm there.
Yeah,
But
I would imagine that's how the pitch went.
The action's great. I think emotional core of this, I feel like it works really well. Barenthal, this is probably my favorite of his appearances as the character since his season 2 run of Daredevil. And yeah, I'm so glad he got to reintroduce the character of the Punisher in the MCU in a way that is satisfying, in a way that feels like it understands who Frank Castle is at his core.
Right there with you.
Yeah, that was our stream. We had a great run talking about the Boys penultimate episode, talking about Punisher 1 Cat Last Kill, talking about Euphoria. And yeah, it was like, you had to have one turd in this. You got to have the vegetables somewhere in the cheeseburger meal.
Yeah, you don't get your dessert without eating your veggies first.
You gotta throw some cilantro in your taco.
Right, exactly. Oh, but, is that the new OnlyFans thing that Sydney Sweeney's gonna do?
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't put it above him or below him.
But we're about to get out of here. Hunter, tell the people where they can find you at.
Yeah, so I actually just did my best of worst of, so the 2 separate recordings. Go check those out. Can find me on Threads, on I guess I'm on TikTok still. J Hunter Real Pineapple. I don't really use it anymore, but I have friends that are still on there, so I get it. But yeah, J Hunter Real Pineapple, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, which I'm very active on, realpineapple.bsky.social. Find the show on YouTube at The Real Pineapple and wherever you listen to podcasts. This weekend, I'm watching, what am I watching this weekend? Obsessed and Is God Is. I'm seeing those on Saturday after work. I'm hyped for that double feature.
I have so much shit at the movies to catch up on. Like, I
that
the other day.
It's so much every week now.
I'm gonna. Yeah, this is a time of year. I'm happy I got my best of worst of done because now I can get caught up on this year. But next week I'll have a review for Send Help. I'm really excited to watch that. Probably watch that Sunday.
Oh, you are in for a treat, my guy.
Yeah, so gonna check out Send Help. They Will Kill You. I'll be checking that out soon. Ready or Not too. Like there's some good stuff out right now. I'm excited to get caught up. But yeah, go ahead and follow me everywhere so you know when those reviews will be live. But I'll be doing a stream on Saturday night because I'll be awake.
Nice. Yep. Brandon, tell the people where they can find you.
Per usual, I'm here every week now with Nick doing the TV recaps. I'm probably going to be on a Hunter stream in the future sometime.
Oh yeah, you'll be on next week. Yeah, I'll have you on.
Exactly. So I'll be there next week. Then yeah, of course, my main social media is honestly Letterboxd. So follow me on there, Brando, not Marlon, and that's about it.
Follow me on Letterboxd at J Hunter Real Pineapple. There he is. I forgot about Letterboxd. I forget about Letterboxd.
Nice. All right, you can find me on all the social media: Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Blue Sky, Letterboxd at Night and Day Nick. You can find me streaming right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Night and Day Nick, also youtube.com Night and Day Nick. You can find me also on our other stream, The Afternoon Tune. We just did our retro review for Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, and also Pragmata. Those will be coming to YouTube.
Oh, shortly. Nice. Hell yeah. Love that.
And Josh, I think, is either back this or next week, so we will have a big-ass catch-up stream for a lot of these great theatrical movies for you.
Hell yeah.
All right, but with that, everybody, we are out. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Hunter. Thank you, Brandon.
Of course.
And
Of course.
bye-bye now.